everybody, this is DestructoKitty here, and we are playing more Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales, and we are continuing our gameplay of this. So the last episode, I was pretty much getting a hold, or getting a grip of the gameplay, and now I'm continuing on. I'm exploring some of the areas and making friends and looting their stuff.
Your Majesty, I beg of you, thrash them bandits. Please.
I'm doing what I can.
Scared to step out into me own fields, I am.
Oh, well, that's your problem, not mine. I'm just here to steal your wood, yo. Oh, wait, yes, no, wait, come back here. I need to go and call my soldier men. Call some soldiers. What's going on here?
Soon, Queen and retinue arrived at Hawksburn. The men stationed there they found standing at attention, baking under the blistering noonday sun.
Your Majesty, Count Caldwell.
Stand at ease, Sergeant, and report.
The local peasants we've rounded up in the yard, Your Grace. Expect they might have lent the bandits aid. Yet our courtesy hadn't inspired them. They haven't peeped a word. Might it please Your Grace to summon the hangman? He ties a noose for them, should have them jabbering right quick.
I'll speak to them first.
Your Majesty, for the Queen to question commoners, why, it's simply not proper.
Whom for? I shan't be stripped of crown and titles for it, so no impediment do I see.
Exactly.
Lead me to them.
Bow low for your sovereign, Her Majesty, Queen Meve of Lyria and Rivia.
Ha' mercy, Your Grace. We bear no guilt, we simple folk.
Calm your hearts, there's nothing to fear. Well, speak and tell me all now,
Lyria, the city. Ever been to the castle there?
Nay, milady. And never ventured from his home, truth be told. Farthest I went was...
It has a dungeon. And in that dungeon, I've a special cell I call Ceci. Now, Ceci's not much. A round ditch with an iron grate over its opening. But you see, Ceci is so narrow, so tight, that once inside her, you cannot move. Not turn, not crouch, not lift an arm. Prisoners dropped in the bitch's embrace stand there for weeks in their own excrement until they lose their minds, or worms eat them alive. You've a choice to make. Tell me what I must know. Or live your days out with Ceci.
Ha' mercy, me lady. Nay, we'll tell all, everything.
Oh, I'm a little bitch today.
The bandits. Whom do they follow?
Him, milady. We seen him. No name, just an odd title. The Duke of Dogs, they call it.
Duke of Dogs.
Duke
of Dogs.
A blue-blood thoroughbred mutt. Where are he and his hounds bound? Did he say?
That recall, Imogen? What do you name? A Gleeton or something?
Clayton. Lord Clayton. His estate lies to the south.
Sound the horns. Have the men form up. We march at once.
Milady, I'll be no higher for the Duke. He's a good man. Gave us proper brass for the welcome we gave him. Shared what grub he had.
Shut it, louts. The Queen's had her say. Your Grace, your orders. What are we to do with them?
See, this is my problem. Is I could be evil. But I want to whip some sense into them because they're... Whip some sense into them.
The crown's foes you sheltered. To confess your deeds you refused, and at the last you dared beg mercy for bandits, proving you realise your crimes not in the least. So I must help you understand them. With some aid. A tightly braided whip. Sergeant, 20 lashes apiece to the men, half that number to the women.
Well, at least it's half to the women.
Yes, me lady. Tain't right, no.
Taint white. Not my taint, anything but my taint.
Meve set off toward Lord Clayton's estate at a gallop, her mount knocking the peasants aside as it kicked up a cloud of dust. The folk of Hawksburn spoke of the royal visit long after, albeit ever behind closed doors and in hushed tones.
They were not happy about that.
What is this, Reynard? Bandits attacking royal tax collectors in broad daylight.
They shall pay dearly, your grace.
They shall indeed. And not only they. Rot has crept into Lyria, Reynard. My kingdom has been poorly kept.
Well, considering the events that happened in Witcher 3, all the kings and queens were quite rotten, so I think this is kind of canon that they're quite rude and quite rotten. So, I think that works. It's canonish. Shall not be bribed. Okay, what's this puzzle?
That rumble. What is it?
Look out! Rock slide!
A battle with rocks. Destroy all boulders. So I'm gonna have a fight with rocks. I'm fighting rocks. I'm fighting... I mean, if this was a D&D game, it would be players die, rocks fall, players die. That's how D&D works. If you got a bad DM, GM, rocks fall, everybody dies. But here you get to fight them off. Okay. Let's do the puzzle. I guess this is a puzzle.
Crumbles! Fall back! Save yourselves!
Your grace, the wagon. We can use it as cover. Forward. We must move it forward.
What? It had 0 hit? His army was overpowered. See that? Exactly. That is the thing. Oh, I could have skipped the battle. Okay, well, I'll try one more time.
Wagon now!
Did I do it? Oh, we did
come
it.
through, Reynard.
Yay.
I thank you.
We just punched or sliced a bunch of boulders. That's how I'm imagining the battle went on, was they took a sword and they're like, slice those boulders, slice them. And then they just slicing boulders like some, crazy
The walls of the temple
action
collapsed.
movie.
The buttress
I
is
know.
doubtless damaged by something.
Or someone. There's naught we can do here. We ride on.
Okay. Let me go see what's making that noise. Give me your wood, I want your wood. I don't care if you don't want to give me your wood. I'm gonna take your wood. Because I'm the queen and I'm gonna take your wood. Wait, can I take this? No, I can't take this. But I'm the queen and I want your wood.
A peasant cart, loaded with a heap of hay, came rattling down the road from the opposite direction.
Clear the road!
Bellowed Count Caldwell, standing in his stirrups.
Make way for your queen!
The peasants obediently turned their cart into the roadside nettles. As she passed, Meve glanced towards it and froze. Atop the hay bale lay a badly wounded man gripped by fever. The thick, sweet stench of rot wafted from his bandaged legs.
Gods. Who did this to him?
Meve asked.
Bandits?
Nay, milady.
Replied the cartman.
'Twere a beast. Out to the east, down Wetterton way, lies a boneyard, old as the elves, they say.
The peasant continued.
Clayton was setting snares round about there. Came running back to us, drenched in blood, rattling on about a long-haired wench come climbing out of grave. We's taken him to the good sisters of Melitele here on bridge. Perhaps they can help him.
I'm certain they can. And will.
Replied the queen, though just looking at the wounded wretch, she knew he'd expire before nightfall.
God speed you on your journey.
The Queen whistled, and her mare resumed its trot.
Shall I send for a witcher, Your Grace?
Caldwell asked.
One of those freaks should make short work of the monster.
Until we apprehend the bandits, I shan't allow a single soul to leave our company. Even on such an important mission as finding a witcher.
Meave replied.
Any who did would be captured at once. But, if fate brings us near Wetterton, perhaps we'll see to this monstrous harridan ourselves.
Your Grace, we've only just fought beasts.
I need a witcher
and
in this
scarcely
Witcher
escaped with our
game.
lives.
I want a witcher in this Witcher game. Dang it.
Beast will take a silver sword. Magic formulae.
Yet a dozen arbalists will have to suffice.
The Queen said, calmly but firmly.
And please, Caldwell, do stiffen your spine a bit. Now onward.
I have a good witcher without it. Oh. This motherfucker.
The Lyrians entered the graveyard. Crickets chirped in its tall, windswept grass, and lush green moss covered its crumbling gravestones. Only a fresh bloodstain upon a mausoleum wall suggested that something disturbed the dead in their rest and hunted the living.
Save your tears, throw off your grief.
An eerie voice sang, its ghastly lament standing Maeve's hair on end.
Soon your life too shall cease as you pass into the eternal glow.
A pockmarked, pustule-ridden creature crawled out from behind some gravestones. It vaguely resembled a shriveled, hunchbacked hag, until its head split into two halves, forming a tooth-spiked maw.
Attack! Everyone!
Yeah, they didn't do that in the, They did not do that in, Witcher 3. The splitting in half. That'd be actually really cool. Here, let's put the asshole up at first.
Time I taught you some respect.
Aye.
Oh my gosh, what? Am I doing good? How the heck did I win that battle? Okay, well...
What was that filth?
The Queen croaked hoarsely as the dying monster writhed in agony at her feet.
I know not, Your Grace.
Replied Reynard.
But to be safe, I would have the corpse chopped up and burned. Elsewise, we will not be certain it shall not return.
Yes, have it done.
Meave said, brushing her hair from her beaded brow.
But quickly, lest dusk catch us in this foul place.
The Lyrians soon resumed their march. As they left the cemetery behind them, some believed they still heard the haunting dirge upon the air. Or was it just the wind, whistling past mossy tombstones?
Yeah, in the book, a lot of the demons are and everything is so much more spookier than in the game. It's nice. I like that. What's going on over here? There's a party going on right here.
As they neared Wetterton, the Queen ordered her company to halt. She then sent men to the town for supplies. Those sent returned more quickly than she'd assumed they would, their satchels empty, their mounts foaming at the mouth.
Your Majesty, the townsfolk have gone right mad. Herded all the elves and dwarves at Market Square. 'Tis a slaughter.
The Queen knew well that if she failed to intervene, the town's streets would flow with non-human blood. Just as she knew her meager force might not subdue an enraged crowd.
What is your command, Your Grace?
Reynard's question pierced the silence.
What can it be, dear friend?
Answered the Queen, then spurred her mount and rode off towards the town. Her troops followed, running as fast as their legs would carry them. When they passed inside the town gate, they saw corpses lining the gutters. Meve realized she had arrived too late to prevent a tragedy. The crowd was drunk on blood. Its rage would need to be quelled with an iron fist.
Oh boy. Oh my god, it's... Oh my god, it's... What's his name? Shoot, it looks like, Sherlock Holmes, Cumberbatch. Yeah, it looks like, it just looks like Cumberbatch, whatever his name is. Benedict Cumberbatch, that's his name.
Step away, or see your heads bounce down the cobblestones!
Company! We must strike the largest clusters! Disperse the mob!
So much hatred. We must put a stop to it.
Discipline shall bring. Strike the largest clusters! Disperse the mob!
So much hatred. We must put a stop to it.
Can't take it anymore.
Can't attack?
Reynard, who started this? I must know.
Well, I'm gonna skip the battle. And,
Happily, Meve restored order without suffering any losses. Reynard then learned that a nobleman's ire had triggered the violence, ire at having discovered a theft.
Suspicion fell on the non-humans he employed. He accused them, they protested, and the row soon engulfed the town. But there's something else, Your Grace.
Reynard gestured towards an aged man who stood grieving, his face in his hands.
I've witnesses who claim the strays of Sparla are the thieves.
Though the tragedy seemed the result of a misunderstanding, justice would have to be served. Those responsible for the slaughter would need to be punished. The question was, how severely?
have the insiders hanged.
Your excuses I cannot accept,
said the Queen.
The vipers who called for the slaughter, they will hang. The rest...
Majesty!
A townswoman fell to Meve's feet.
Mercy, please! 'Twere words taken wrong, a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding? To don another's cape, pay out insufficient change, these are misunderstandings. What happened here was criminal, and you'll be punished as criminals.
The condemned were hanged at once, without regard to the protests of kith and kin. Those non-humans who had managed to hide and survive made a most generous donation in gold to bolster the Queen's force. I'd like to say Wetterton's small melting pot of races lived on in harmony. Yet alas, I'm not in the habit of propagating untruths.
Hey guys, I think that's enough for one episode. And thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Goodbye.